because a drunk citizen is a happy citizen. Oh, you guys are so needy. My house is on fire. I need things. It's really great to be a dictator, okay? They love those cans. All up in their face. So a new DLC for Anno 1800 here just dropped today, and I thought, what better perfect time than to get back into the game than right now. So that's what we're going to do. But just exploring the DLC and doing city building in the normal way, well, that's just not different enough. That's not exciting enough. So what I decided what we're going to try and do is we're going to do a speed run. And what we're going to speed run here, as you can see, is right there on the screen. We're going to speed run to 1 billion dollary-doos in the shortest amount of time possible. So rules are going to be 1. We're playing vanilla game. While there's a ton of fantastic mods for the game, we're not going to enable them, even the cosmetic ones. So it's just going to be a straight normal experience. That being said, I do have all the content pack DLCs, and we will be utilizing those, including the new High Life DLC. That's what it's called, right? High Skies, High Life, something like that. I don't know. I haven't played this game in a while. I just saw the news that the DLC came out today. It involves blimps, so that should be cool. Hello, Chris from the future here. So I realized upon watching this back, I didn't do the best job of explaining the rules here, so I'm just going to do a little voiceover. Our second rule is we're playing on the normal preset, so against 1-star AIs, everything else is set to normal. Normal starting funds, random seed island, keep it spicy, keep it interesting that way. Everything else just set to default. And our third and most important rule is that we're going to be running at the normal speed the entire time. We're not going to be speeding things up because in a gold per minute system, that would make things easier. We're not going to slow things down either because that could also have advantages. I do explain this third rule a little bit later on in the video, but I didn't do the best job here. So anyway, back to the video. All right, let's get going. Timer working? Timer's working. Just one long road for now, with a fork in it heading that way. Our same strat. I want to leave a little bit of room near the coast so that way I can build coastal buildings later. Oops, I already messed it up. Those aren't aligned. So yeah, as I was explaining before, it's just a city building game in that there's really there are victory conditions, as you might have saw, but you don't have to play with victory conditions. It could be a very, just very relaxing, very play it for the aesthetic building and stuff like that sort of game. But how you unlock new buildings and stuff like that is it's with population, but population with a twist. Just like most city building games, you have to get a certain number of people to unlock new building types and stuff. You have to do that here, but there's also different tiers of people living on your island. So you start out here with your workers, or farmers, sorry. You would start with farmers, and then you get to workers. The way you upgrade them is you fulfill all the needs that end up popping up here. And farmers are pretty simple. They only have these 3 needs, as far as I know. They might have changed that as well. Oh, there's lifestyle needs now. Okay. So yeah, there's all of these extra lifestyle needs that I'm unaware of. Ooh, powerful benefits. If it's more money, I'm all about that. So we'll have to figure out ways to do all that as well. Right, I forgot. Oh no, I've made a mistake. I need to demolish some buildings. We need to get a marketplace up fast so they don't get mad and leave the island. Sorry, I guess I didn't need to destroy all your guys' houses, but you know, ruthless capitalism and all. So now we just gotta wait for that to build up, and in the meantime, since we can't unlock that, or we can't pre-plan that, we'll just get some other houses slatted for building once there's available. Get some other infrastructure in. Because it's a speed run. We're doing speed run things in a speed run way. I can't even access the firehouse or anything yet. So yeah, it's just really just pre-planning for your residential zone, which we're just gonna do that right now. And I guess I could switch into blueprint mode so those things don't accidentally build when I have resources, which is just right here. So anything you set now would just be grayed out like this, and then you just can go back and manually build it or do this upgrade thing and drag across and build it. But we're losing money, chat. That's not the point of a $1 billion speedrun. So we gotta go from first step, taking that to a positive. And the quickest way to do that right now is to get these people some fish. Should probably connect that there. There we go. And then as soon as we can get work closed, which will be very soon, because we already have quite a few people living here on the island, we will jump on that and then immediately get to workers, because each tier, sorry, 1 second. Each tier of citizen or inhabitant, whatever you want to call them, they provide more base income, and then it scales as you meet their needs. So I think, and I haven't played since the new update, so they might have changed this today, but I think your villagers top out at, farmers top out at like 10 gold, and that's like 10 income per minute, or however this works. I think it's per minute. There we go. Okay. Right away. Get in. And we'll just get a little bit further away from our lumber yard so it doesn't impact their ability to chop wood. It is a lovely day for it. And we're just going to build one of each for now, because that'll be enough to sustain our population. And we're also immediately going to do this, because there's also, in addition to needs, you also have happiness requirements. And some provide money, and some don't. So, actually, I think all the happiness ones provide coins. Pretty sure. Some of the needs don't. Like, you know, the market here didn't provide me any additional income. It was just an expense, which is terrible. If I could get away without providing them some of the basic needs, I would. You heard it here first. I would provide my people stuff for money. That's how it ends. We had a good run. We streamed for about 2 weeks, but I guess that's how it ends. Okay, I was telling a story. That is rude. Alright, so let's just build a few of those for now. We got that, and now we need to, I don't want to overload that too much, so we're gonna go ahead and branch off. Let's look at our resources for this island. So we're gonna need to branch off this way anyway, so we're gonna build a road down that way. We'll build a warehouse here in preparation for the stuff we're gonna build, and in the meantime, while we're waiting for that stuff, let's put this in a blueprint mode so I don't waste any wood. We're gonna build a couple of schnapps distilleries. Everybody loves a good schnapp, because a drunk citizen is a happy citizen. Oops, not what I meant to do. This place is gonna have nowhere to take their resources until we get wood to build that warehouse. But we do have a surplus of workers, so if I need to slap more stuff down, we can do that. They're also mad because they don't have any pub to go to, or they don't have a pub to go to, so they essentially have none of their happiness. Yeah, I know. We're working on it. I know that deficits or our spending's going up right now, but don't you worry, okay? We got a plan. I just need you people to work a little bit faster on top of that wood. Let's go here. Chop, chop. I will say, too, I love the level of detail in this game. I think that's why it's probably my favorite city building game that I've come across, just because you can get this, like, really zoomed in perspective on your towns, right? Like, look at that. Just these lumberjacks doing their thing, and there's a little dog running around. It's just great. Alright, so sorry, back out here. And we got our warehouse wood. So there we go. I could have built the pub as well, and that would have provided me some immediate capital. But I think it's more important to get... You have fields. Am I crazy? Oh, I didn't actually build your fields. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright, so we got our first distilleries up and running. Because I think those provide a little bit more gold than the pub actually does. So we want to get those running sooner. Yeah. So that's the priority, is getting those running. And they have their basic needs almost fulfilled. So they should be able to upgrade. I wonder how you get 20. See, this is all new because it used to be 10 for your first tier. And you get 20 workers, 30 engineers, which we probably won't see tonight. Well, maybe. I don't know. We still got, what, about 2 hours to go on tonight. A little less. So we might have a chance to do some, get like our first... Oh wait, no, never mind. Sorry, I forgot there's artisans before that. We won't see engineers tonight. We might see some artisans. But then after artisans is engineers, then your investors, and tourists are a separate thing. And I think it stops at investors. I don't believe there's anything beyond that. More schnapps, more better. Go, go, go. Oh, I see what I did last time. I didn't actually build the fields because I did it in a weird order. Or I hit the wrong button. And we don't have enough workers, so we gotta get more workers in. There we go. We're at full employment though, chat. Am I not a benevolent overlord? Everyone has a job, and a job for every person. Some people are doing the jobs of more than one person, but that's neither here nor there. Oh no! We have one person unemployed. Terrible. Tragedy. Actually, the economy of this game is weird. It's if you're going for like a profit run like this and not just like a purely balancing everything sort of thing, it's actually better to have like massive unemployment. Because the citizens will provide income to you regardless if they have a job or not. And more jobs just means having to pay more upkeep on more buildings. So honestly, like the best strategy in terms of like just making money as quickly as possible is to just provide just enough resources so you're not dwindling through your reserves, you're maintaining equilibrium, and then you'll have a huge labor pool in all of your citizen levels that's just providing you gold without having to work, which is a win-win. They don't have to go down and lose an arm in the coal mines, and I get their money. So what's not to like about that? All right, let's build our pub, and that'll provide us immediate cash infusion, probably enough to break even, which is good, because so far all we've done is lost 6,000 gold in this speedrun. Strickland in.
Fresh as a daisy here.
So they're ready to upgrade. I just need to get more gold, or more wood. So the bottleneck seems to be wood right now. So why don't we just go ahead and build a third? Am I still in blueprint mode? That's why. We'll build a third labor or lumber production here. There we go. So just so we can get our resources going a little bit faster. Got ourselves a good little labor pool. Oh, you know what I realized too? I have these resources here I could have used for a quick infusion there to get building faster. But what I should do, actually, is discover the map. I should have been doing that this whole time in the background. But again, it's been a little while since I played this, so it'll all start coming back to me as we go. Oh, hey, sorry, I just saw your chat. Yes, this is a billionaire speedrun. As far as I know, it's a completely uncontested category. So what you're watching right now is going to be a world record. Because as far as I could tell on like speedrun.com or any like speedrunning forums, nobody seems to have done like an official run to a billion, to being a billionaire. And I just thought it'd be fun. It would take quite a while to get there probably. So we're just gonna run to a billion as quick as we can. With that being said, it's time to start upgrading some populace here, because workers provide so much more gold than farmers. So yeah, our farmers are topping out at 10 right now, and then we immediately double it by getting to workers.
Honest work, that's all we ask.
They want honest work. Well, by Jove, who am I to deny that to them? Alright, so I don't have the workers for that yet, so we're just gonna have to sit tight for a moment. Perfect. Okay. Maybe move this a little bit so I can see chat a little bit better out of my peripheral. Oh, do I have the right thing? See, if I'm going to be speedrunning this, I have to learn better optimization for all of my stuff here. And this is a mess. We'll, we'll move that further away from the city at some point, and because we're going to need a bunch of space for citizens. The good news is this island's fairly large, and don't tell the other computers, or don't tell the computers on the map this, but their islands will be my islands at some point. It's probably not the most profitable thing to build up a war fleet, but at the same time, it kind of is, because we can build up a war fleet, use it to take out all these islands for, expansion and growth and trade, and then just turn around and sell the fleet to one of the non-competing NPCs. So we'll lose a little bit of money in the short term just by having to play fleet maintenance, but I think it's worth it just to get those extra islands out from underneath the AI. Alright, so we need about 75 workers just to get our first brick production up and running. And everybody has schnapps, right? How are we doing our schnapps levels? Good. Everybody's got the schnapps. Everybody's doing great. Everybody's happy and healthy. And if they're not happy and healthy, then punishment shall be coming for them. Perfect. That gives us a little bit more room to upgrade into worker class as fast as we can. Because as tempting as it would be to just upgrade everybody to workers, it's not a good idea long term, because again, like all of these jobs that are here on the island right now require farmers. So we would end up with a labor deficit and all these industries would shut down and it'd be a disaster. So we just have to keep managing our labor pool. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on bricks because I think we're close enough to having enough people for that anyway. And we have to wait for the wood here. So what I should probably do is find my first island that has resources I'm gonna need soon. And that's kind of medium size at least. So we're just gonna send him sailing this way. What we're looking for is an island pretty similar to this. We want red pepper, and we're gonna want hops. So those two for sure. As long as it has those, that'll be a great second island. Because our next tier of people beyond workers are gonna need peppers for one of their first needs. New island's been discovered, they say. Also, for the time being, we might as well make friends with this guy, so he doesn't,
Well, if you say so.
I know. It's controversial to try and bribe him when we're trying to accumulate wealth, but 600 is going to be nothing in the grand scheme of things. We're already up to 109 in profit. So, that's not my island. That's my island. Let's get that built so we can immediately start getting brick into production. Upgrade more citizens. Let's go ahead and plan out another space for citizenry. Oops. Whoopsie daisy. Messed that up twice, didn't I? And I'm building like 7x7 squares, and there's no real logic to that. It just, for me, it seems I found that you can do managing of like the range on some of these buildings a little bit easier if you keep it in a manageable number, and 7 just seemed to work out pretty well for me. Plus, it's lucky, right? There we go. And we met all the AI, which is perfect. We're gonna...
I can't wait to work with you.
So yeah, oops. The reason we're gonna want to make friends with them as soon as possible is because as long as we're allies with them until the inevitable trying to crush them under our boots, they will give us occasional gifts of money, which isn't a whole lot, but it adds up. It says it's going to be quite a while until I take them out. We wanted them to go ahead and be on our good side and just giving us money for free. I should probably build a firehouse as well, because that's going to be an issue. I'm still in blueprint mode. Whoopsie. Because you don't want to build a fire after the fire, or firehouse after the fire starts. That's just bad news, especially because it takes like a minute or something to get the firefighters in there. All right, more workers. We need more people. How's my ship doing? Have we come across a juicy island yet? Oh, hey, I didn't even realize we sailed right by one earlier, and that's pretty close to my main. And it's got a coast on this side, so yeah, I think that'll be our candidate. So that'll be our second island. It's got everything we need for the time being, and then for expansion later on, it's got some higher end deposits of materials, which our main island doesn't. So that'll be great. We'll have to figure out a catchy name as well for our island. Something to do with, you know, the goal of accumulating wealth in as fast as a way as possible. We'll think of something punchy by the next time we go live. Spoiler, I did not. Alright. Got a decent number of... I'm gonna keep calling them villagers all night. Farmers. We have a decent number of farmers. Sure. Where's your... And the trick with these quests, or these, those puzzles, is just click around crazy. Because they're going to be right somewhere on that camera, so why not? Beats actually scrutinizing where they are on the screen. Look at all that wood coming in now, chat. We're moving and grooving. We need more workers. And as soon as possible, we need... sausage. So we're gonna build... Where should we put this? This is kind of already farmish land here. And I know these aren't like the most optimal layouts. I'm wasting a lot of space right now. But that's what, you know, you gotta leave yourself room for improvement. If we did it perfectly this time, it'd be really hard to get a better run next time, right? So as soon as we have enough wood for that, we'll just slap it down, get sausages in, because that'll, again, propel our income. Look at that. We've already doubled our income since last time I looked. Went from, what, like 103 to 213? So, slightly more than double. Where's our boat? He's taking his time because he's carrying a bunch of materials and he's going slower than normal. That's okay. Because we'll still be the second people to get an island. Or a second island, I should say. And that's another great reason you want to make friends with the AI as soon as possible. Because the AI is dumb. And if you're allies with them, or even in a friendship with them, or a trade, what is it called? Let me look. Trade rights. Yeah, if you have trade rights with them, or if you're in an alliance, they will ask you permission to settle an island, and you can tell them no. And they get a little mad. All you have to do is just give them a little bit of gold later on, or say, you know, your blouse is quite fetching today. Have you done something new with your hair? And they'll just eat that up, and they'll forget that you denied them the right to expand, even though it's kind of their whole imperative. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Right, I got distracted. I'm missing brick, that's why. Okay, so we got a bottleneck in brick at the moment. I need more workers before I can build more brick making facilities. There we go. Look at that profit going up. And what we should probably do too at some point is get into like trade unions and like minimizing our costs and stuff. But I think we're just gonna brute force it for now, and then maybe work on optimizing stuff later on.
It's just in case.
Perfect. Yep.
To opening cultural dialogues.
Again, I know I just spent 9,000, and that seems counterintuitive to the point. But you can see we're gonna get, yep, we're gonna get some free influence with the other two, just because these three get along with each other. And we're also, she's gonna give you back that in spades later on, because they'll give you like gifts of like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 coins at a time sometimes. So it's worth that investment. Cobblers? You smell like cobblers.
I fear I must wade upriver.
And I'll probably want to do their quests as well, because it's just a free way to gain influence with them, and then sometimes you get like coins and stuff as well. Alright. Slaughterhouse up and running. Just need a few more workers. Oh no. We never built the fishery. Disaster. That was... We're going to call that a whoops-a-doodle. And since we're going to need another one at some point anyway, this is a big opportunity to just really increase the production on that. So we took a little dip in the old funds there. That was an unforced error, but that's okay. Because again, this is night 1 of speedrun 1. So we're going to have room to improve. We're going to think of new strats. We're going to think of even faster ways to exploit the workers. I mean, help the workers realize their full potential. That's it. That's the thing we meant to say. So we got our basic resources. While we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and do a resource check. We're probably going to want to go ahead and build a second set of clothing production now, just because I know we are expanding. We should be okay on schnapps because we built 2 right off the get-go, so that's continuing to climb. And I know there's ways to like look at here you go. You can look at charts and you can look at production, and you know, you can look at your inventory over time. And this is pretty useless right now because obviously we've only been in this map for like 20 minutes, which is weird that it says 6 minutes right here, or 16 minutes. Okay, so yeah, this will become more useful over time. It'll really show you how much you're producing, stuff like that, which is good for managing that perfect balance of producing enough to keep your people happy, but not producing so much that you're wasting that sweet dollary due. We've had a labor shortage because we've ran out of fish. What do we do here? Well, I think the solution is clear. If the people are moving out because they don't have fish, we hire new ones that don't realize they don't have fish. And that will eventually work out. It's not a brilliant thing to see, but that's okay. We are slowly rekindling our profits, and we do have a fish for our 450 people. They can share it amongst themselves. The one fish. Everybody would like to share 1/400th of a fish, right? Oh, I guess about 500 with all the new people coming in. Everybody will get their fish, don't you worry. We also want to grow our population as quickly as we can, because obviously more people is more money, but it also gives you some other benefits like unlocks in the newspaper and stuff. And we'll talk more about my strats for the newspaper when that dialogue first pops up. I don't think it pops up until you get your first artisan, if I remember correctly, but who knows. They might have changed that as well. All right, so we got a populace surplus again. Fish is back on the menu, boys. Free trade rights, yes.
I want to be exactly like
Look at that, and the other two just love it. They love trade rights. Oh, Wibbly, you don't feel too inclined to... All right, so I need first priority after I settle my island is to get my. Speaking of which, we need to do that now.
amazing. You know what to do with them.
It's
Mo-
indecent, your luck with islands.
Shh, Wibbly, shh.
Flagship awaiting instruction.
Wibbly, do you want to do a quest?
Look in my eyes. I'm not as scary as you thought, eh?
10 timber. I can do that. I'm going to take it from the main island because I don't remember how to like drag only certain quantities out. And right now our main focus here is to do exactly what we just did on the first island, get a population up and running. But we're going to keep them mainly just farmers for now. We're not going to worry about upgrading them to workers. So workers have extra needs and blah, blah, blah. I want sausage. I want beer. I want a place to stay with that doesn't have a leaky roof. Just so demanding. So we're just going to start with the basic loadout that we had before. Get all this up and running. The good thing is, since we've already unlocked these buildings on the main island, we don't have to unlock them here as well. So we can just slap down all this right quick, get them prepped and ready, get them ready with their own production chain of stuff. I don't have enough wood for that. Crap. Okay. So what we're going to do as a very hodgepodge solution for now is just slap this as close to the... as close to the harbor as we can get away with, because the harbor technically counts as a warehouse. And then we'll move them later to get out of the way of...
I'm confident it's ready to go.
Oh, okay. So I guess you do get the newspaper earlier on. So my strategy for newspaper,
I can do it.
early on,
Imagine it, and we can do it.
we're just going to maybe throw in one here for consumerism, just to get that extra profit in. And then we won't change it too much, because, yeah, because exactly that. The people get mad, like your AI friends get mad if you lie to the citizens. At least these ones do. Other AIs have different personalities, and some of them love that. So it's like great to play with them, but those AI are also harder. So they may not be worth actually playing with just for that one trade-off, you know? It's easier to play with the ones that are a little less a little more passive. Alright, so that's a way. That's getting going. Our ship needs to go to the main island. Look at that, we're a port town. How long did it take? About half an hour? Okay. So we should get first artisans by the hour mark. I don't know if that's good or not. Again, this is a totally new concept here for me, is speedrunning in general and speeding this game in particular. We got a surplus of workers. They got pigs. Now they want... Okay, dude. I'll keep that in mind. Can my new island grow wheat? It can. That's something to keep in mind, because wheat takes up so much space that I think my first order of business, before I even grow peppers or anything, is get these people to work on making wheat. Because I can use a bunch of their island for wheat production and then leave this main island here for building up higher classes of citizens. So have we unlocked, oopsie, our harbor yet? We have. It takes a lot of workers, but we're going to want to get that going as soon as possible too, because it's pretty resource, it's not very resource intensive to build ships at first. All you need is like sails and wood for your basic ones. And we're producing wood at a pretty good clip now, so we can afford to siphon some of that off into a shipbuilding industry. Because you can sell the ships for money, as I kind of mentioned earlier. Welcome in, everybody who's hanging out, watching me do this speedrun. We're obviously not going to get there tonight. Spoiler, sorry. If we're at 50,000 now, we're not going to get to 1 billion tonight. But I can promise you we'll get there at some point. And not knowing how long it's going to take is half the fun. I think my personal highest on any of the accounts I played here, I think I've got up to about 100 million, 200 million on one of my other saves. And I'll be honest, I'd have to look at the save log to see how many hours I put in on that. And even that's probably not accurate because, you know, sometimes you get up, you go get a drink, you aren't actually playing the game, but the game internal clock is still running. Alright, so how's this island doing? We're producing wood slowly but surely. We do have more workers available. So we're gonna just, again, it's not, oop, we don't want it there because we want it at 100%. You can get away with like 97%. So I think it's like in 5% increments, it actually takes a second away. And anything above that's fine. Yeah, the base is 15 seconds. So as long as it's staying at 15 seconds, we are great. Okay. They're our village now. That's just what we want to see. So we're going to pre-plant some stuff over here where I want to move all this industry once I can. And we're going to go into blueprint mode so we don't accidentally build this before we're ready for it. Okay. Back to the main island. Main island, we need to build that shipyard once we can. Oopsie. We should probably get some sales in production as well. So we need more cotton. Wool. We need more wool. It'd be weird if they had cotton, right? So we'll just keep that in our little industrial center here. And they're both 30 seconds, so that's still a 1-for-1 build. We're actually going to build 2 because I want this industry to get off the ground quick. My ship's made it back. Perfect. We're just going to load them up. Oopsie. Load them up with a stack of wood. Send them off to Wibbly. Get that done. Is it time to flatter you guys yet?
Affection falls upon grateful ears.
Perfect. Ah.
What a selfless act.
Lost a little bit there with old Jorgensen. That's okay. We will become allies with them eventually, because again, as I was saying before, it's just so beneficial in the short term to be allies with all the NPCs. It would even be really great to become allies with the pirates, because then you could do trades with them. And I figured out in a previous playthrough that selling beer to the pirates is like really profitable. So that might be an avenue we go down at some point, just building out a massive brewery base, just ship off a bunch of beer to the pirates. That would be funny. That would be at least like a good...
A farm?
Right.
No fields?
You're right. You're right. I got distracted. Forgot you need places to raise your sheep. It's a lot of workers too. I should probably do this in clumps, right? So let's do this in clumps a little bit. There we go. Got a good populace now. We're up to almost 1,000. We are cruising between our 2 islands. So let's jump back to island 2. Good, you guys have wood going, so let's go ahead and get this built ASAP. So you guys will be happy.
Fellow wizard. Pray,
Yes.
who's the father?
That was a weird thing to say to me, Wibbly. I have no response. There are no words for whatever that was you just did. Alright. So far, we're about 38 minutes in, and we've managed to lose 16,000. I know it doesn't look great, but don't you worry. It's going to turn around real soon. Because we're going to get our shipyard going, and we're just going to be cranking out ships to sell to the crown or to, I don't know what they would be in this equivalent. The unaligned NPCs, whatever. Just like the random merchant people. And then eventually we'll build up an armada, take out all the other islands, and then we don't really have to worry about shipbuilding that much. You could still shipbuild, and it is quite profitable. So that could be a route we go down. I think the route... Perfect. Silas. Yes. Yeah, we'll go ahead and accept that quest, just because we were going to do it at some point anyway. And if we can do it now, we don't have enough brick. I already know that. Don't have enough brick for that either. So we have plenty of people to work the brick plant. Brick factory? Brick factory. So we'll go ahead and get that going, because one clay pit here can provide for 2 of these, unless they've changed the production numbers. 30 seconds there. A minute there. Nope. Okay, so everything still lines up there. The workers' comrades? Alright. You know the strat. Found him. Boom, look at that. We're speedrunning quests as well. So that takes a lot of brick to get up and running. Good to know. Should we... Oh, that's across the map. We could just build another one there just to get running, because we're going to need it eventually, right? But for now, we'll just focus on our shorter term objectives, which we're getting the wheat up and running on the second island. Alright, so they are going, they're chugging along, everything's honky-dory.
We make the best of what we have.
They aren't happy, but, you know, sometimes life is not happiness. And now that we can, we're just going to go ahead and move these out of the way, because I don't want them near my population center. We're going to set this up kind of similar to how I set up the main island, with all the industrial stuff a little bit further away from the city center. But that's another great thing about the economy of this game. Did I only have... I could have swore I built 2, right? Yeah. Oh, you were hidden. Clever girl. Yeah, that's another great thing about the economy of this game, is that commutes are meaningless. They have to travel all the way across the island. Heck, sometimes, or later on in the game, you can get like commuting between islands for work. Doesn't matter. They'll do it, and they'll do it happily. So there's no need to put your workforce centers anywhere close to your population, and I feel like it's more optimal if you don't, so that way you can just have this public sector or like the housing specific stuff near the houses, and not have to worry about like, oh well, I need a trade union and I need like a, you know, all these other things right in the middle of where your houses are. So let's just go ahead and build this out with more workers or more sweet profit. That road out, because we're just going to do again squares. You don't want to go, there's no like set in stone way for how long you should build your city blocks, but you only want to go 2 wide, because everything needs to be connected to a road. So if you did 3, that would leave that whole middle open. Now you could do like a 3rd row, you know, for like aesthetics and put in trees, but this isn't about building this city in a proper way. This is about building a city that makes the most amount of money possible. Yeah, they're unhappy. They'll be happy soon enough. Because look, you guys got a pub. You guys love pubs. All you farmers with your pubs and your pub talk doing pub things. Perfect. So we have a surplus of workers. The islands lose us a little bit of money, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in and get wheat production going. And we'll just go ahead and set this into blueprint mode. Because it takes what? So it takes two to provide one of these. And that provides two of those. Okay, so that's what we'll start with for now. Well, actually, we'll build, I think, 4. Because that allows us to build 2 bakeries on the main island at full capacity, which I think is
Nice day for it.
a nice day for it if I did it. Build you guys in the right order. I also didn't build you close enough to the warehouse. Yeah, how we fix that? You don't need more warehouses, you just move your warehouse. That's the thing you can do. People do it all the time. Yeah, now they're close enough. Why do you not have farms? You have farms. Missing grain field. You have grain fields. What are you talking about, man? Yeah, module limit reached. Let's just reset you, because I don't know what you were doing. If you don't want to work properly, then you're not going to work at all. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't actually build the farm. Yeah, I just realized I did after I destroyed them. I didn't actually build the grain areas. Whoopsie. That's okay. Everybody that lost their job can just go apply at the one next door. I'm sure they'll hire everybody. Alright. I should probably build another warehouse here just because this one's already overloaded and it's a decent amount of brick to upgrade, and brick is our pain point right now. But we're doing great on wood. So we can just slap in more warehouses and it doesn't really impact our ability to do anything else. Upgrade some more people to the worker class.
I've no complaint.
And we're going to skip the church. Doesn't provide money, so we don't need it. That beer, though. That sweet, sweet beer. We're going to do that. And I think... yeah, this island has hops. Our main doesn't. So this is going to be our brewery agricultural production island. So as soon as we unlock beer, we're going to also put some of these people to work doing growing of hops. Which means we're going to need more. So let's get working on that right now. Get them prepped and ready for the future. And again, we're just going to keep this island as workers for now. I know it'd be more profitable to upgrade, or sorry, we're going to keep them as farmers. We don't want them as workers. It would be more profitable to upgrade them to workers, but then they also need all the other needs like the pigs and this, that, and the other. So we're just going to keep them perfectly content, perfectly happy farmers to fuel the growth of the main island. And eventually we'll make each island a little bit more self-sufficient and they'll, you know, be more profitable that way. And in terms of like speedrunning this out, we want to get our main island built up as fast as possible, I think. Because if we're splitting our focus and resources to other islands, then that's going to slow down our progression to the next citizen tiers. Alright, so we have a massive amount of workers, not a whole lot of farmers, so let's go ahead and fix that. We're getting a little close to our industrial center. So we're probably going to want to move that at some point. Also, this road's a mess. Oh, I just messed it up again. There we go. I know, you guys don't have roads. So needy. I can't get to my job. Always something with them, I swear. So ungrateful is what they are. Just... I give them this opportunity to come to this island probably free of charge. And they're just, you know, they're just so ungrateful about it. Who wouldn't want to live in, you know, rows upon rows of the similar house slapped across for as far as the eye could see? Sounds like a great place to live, if you ask me. Alright. So we're still going to try and shoot to get our first artisan by the hour mark. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, because we still have a few tiers of needs to be met here. But we will get there definitely before the end of this stream. So, and then we'll see how much further we can push in like the next hour after that. Alright. So that's cruising along. This island's still losing me money, but that's okay. We can just hire more people to work our way out of that problem. We are cruising though, up to about 500 per minute, right? It's per minute. So his next objective here is going to be to find the NPCs, because they're all going to be very important later on. Don't want to mess with her yet, because we'll just lose. Yeah. I can't believe we're only at a 58 after doing the quest with you, Wibbly. And I think, yeah, I don't think there's no point in offering it if the chance of success are 0, but it doesn't hurt your relationship like like flattering them does if you mess it up. They'll just turn it down and it'll be like a 0. It won't actually impact their relationship with you, I do believe, if I remember correctly. So this will be a good island later on because it has grapes, which are going to be really important to our final tier level of people, our investors. And let's kind of scope out our competition's islands here, see what they got. So he's got some red peppers, which, I mean, we're going to get those before we are going to war with these guys, because we're going to go to these war with these guys around the engineer phase, when we can start building better ships than they will get to by that point. It's all about superior firepower. If we can take them out with less ships, that means lower upkeep on that navy, and then when we actually sell them, it'll be more profitable per ship as well. We won't have as many ships if we built like a classic sail navy as opposed to like the steamships, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and just finish building out this. Now we got a good amount of population on both. Yes. Alright, so our bottleneck is just that still. So I think the time has come. Oh. Yep. That's the one we want to avoid, because the pirates will aggro. That's weird. Huh. That effect is new. It shows what they're targeting. I like that. So we have to... Ooh, that's unfortunate. The Emporium is right next to the pirate base this time. That's going to make navigating these waters a little tricky. Eventually you can do like ceasefires with her and stuff, but they're so expensive for the beginning of the game here that we're not going to bother. So now we just need to find... What did you drop? Hang on. Go get that loot. Oh, hey. That had the added benefit of impacting our relationship with them. So if it says anything less than like I or certain here, they're going to ask for something in return. And that is usually, I mean, that's always money as far as I know. So I don't want to spend money. Ooh, sales. Perfect. Quickly get back to the main island because we're going to need those. That'll get us off the ground and running with our very first ship.
A fire broke out.
Oh, you guys are so needy. My house is on fire. I need things. Alright. See, this is why you want to build it beforehand, because now we have to wait for the firefighters to be built, and it's just going to impact the economy. And your flagship's pretty resilient. You don't have to worry about losing it at first unless you know, sail directly into the pirate base. Don't sail in the pirate base. That's just kind of good life tips, really. If you can avoid sailing into a pirate base, then avoid sailing into the pirate base. That's a little life tip there for you. Cruising right along, population's growing. Let's go ahead, and now that we are done being distracted for the moment, just build a very haphazard road down here. We'll fix that later. Once we're generating massive amounts of profit, we can worry about optimizing things to be a little less wasteful of space. But for now, our main objective is to just get things in as fast as possible, slap it down, worry about how it looks, and clear enough space for things later on. Once we have a pretty booming economy that's self-sustaining, we can optimize things to get that extra, you know, like 5% here sort of stuff. For now, we're just gonna keep rolling, keep moving and grooving. Alright, so we do need more workers for that because that's gonna deplete our reserves. The good news is it only depletes your reserves of workers while it's active. So if the shipyard's not actively building a ship, you'll still have, you know, the 100 that it takes. And then I guess, you know, we just fire them at the end of each shipbuilding season and then hope they'll come back. I mean, of course they're going to come back. Immigration doesn't exist on this island yet. So what are they going to do? Not work? I guess that's an option. And then they would just give me money anyway. But they want to work, you know? They do it for the love of the job. They don't do it for the money because they're giving me all their money anyway. For the privilege of being here. I'm just a nice guy like that. Let's go ahead and build out another rung of... Is that lined up? Yeah. Another rung of homes here. And I know I said I want to save coast space, and I just realized I didn't do that there. I mean, I didn't build directly on the coast, but I didn't really leave myself a whole lot of space here for anything. That's okay. Look at that money go burr. Counter goes up. That's what matters. Alright, ship. So, the Crown's representative is probably somewhere up in that region because we haven't explored there yet. So you're going to go there. And then we're going to check on our second island. How are we doing? We producing grain? Oh yeah, the grain business is going strong. So we need a transport ship ASAP. Probably should have mobilized the second truck at some point. They'll be fine. If we suffer casualties, there's always new people willing to come in. You remember that, farmers, okay? You're easily replaced.
Service, they help you.
The fire has been vanquished.
Alright. That's probably as far as we can go on our 1-in-1 setup. So we're going to need to expand out our materials here. I know there's like exact numbers for how many citizens each building can sustain, but I'll be honest, I'm just kind of winging it right now. I don't know exactly how many I need. Is something we'll have to figure out long term as we look to optimize our times on the speedrun. But again, insofar as I know, I am running unopposed, so it's all stuff we can work into the next run and really smash the record, you know? Let's go ahead and build these out. That industry's humming, perfect. So now we just need to get some more wood, which will accumulate pretty quickly. Actually, are you still carrying wood? No. What did I do with that? Did I already bring it back to the mainland? I must have. Look at this farm. That's not a square or a rectangle. Wasteful. And these weird mazes, shameful. Anyway, enough talking smack about the AI. Let's get back to nice, neat squares for things. It can look aesthetic though. Like, look at that. That looks like a good little town, right? You just don't look at how depressingly square everything is, and you forget. Almost above the 1,000 mark here, which is great. It'll just continue to scale up as we go. Ship is still cruising. These guys are still producing grain. How many more workers do we need to unlock beer? Not that many. So let's go ahead and just get that now so we can get our workers on the other island working on producing hops for us. So that way we can just have one. Perfect. So we can just have one trade ship bringing the bringing the grain and the hops over. So we need so 3 of these would provide 2 of these. So we shall build 3. Actually, let's go ahead and build 4 so we can have a surplus. And you're not close enough to warehouse, and I'm not going to play the move the warehouse game again, because then that stuff wouldn't be close to the warehouse. So there we go. Slap one in. You're losing me money, but that's okay, because eventually you're going to be very profitable for the main island. And that's all that matters right now, is getting the main island running and into its next level of citizens as fast as possible. Alright, so that's 3 and 4. So that'll provide 2 for 2 breweries. I forgot you have to turn this into malt as well for the beer. So we're going to need more than 2 grain houses. We're going to need probably like 4 as well for that. There we go. And then we can slap another one in here, right? It'll look ugly. I take back what I said about that other guy's grain field looking stupid. Although maybe I don't, because this is still at least a square. Come on, man. Squares. Everybody knows you need good squares. Oh, this hurts. Okay. I don't think I technically... Actually, you know what? Yeah, for aesthetics, we're going to do this. The one time. Because we're still going to be at 100%. We can get by without 1 extra there. How's our ship doing? Ship still did not find the Crown's representative. Alright. You'll find him eventually, champ. I believe in you. That's a good size couple of islands right next to each other. I mean, obviously.
I need something to keep you going.
There we go. The influx is already coming in. My bribe to her for the alliance or for the trade rights is already halfway paid off.
I am grateful.
And we immediately reinvest that into just 1, because you're being difficult, Willie. Still there on medium high. We want to get her to a high or a certain so we can pay less. Obviously, we're going to change that back to more profit, because we want to keep that extra 5% going. As we progress and get more citizens, we'll unlock new bonuses and they'll be more powerful. And we're just going to be manipulating the hell out of the paper every single time. We're going to change all 3 eventually. But for now, since the other 2 modifiers don't really impact my ability to make money all that much, we're just going to leave it at just the straight 5% boost to our profit. Alright. Brick house is going good. How are we looking on resources? Just do a quick check here. We need more schnapps. Okay. It's always good to check in every now and then so you don't run into a crisis mode like I did with the fish there. We just won't talk about that. Let's go ahead and slap it in here because I don't have any plans for the rest of this space right now. Oops. Perfect. How are we looking on everything else? Still just like kind of hovering stable on workflows. Stable's fine though. Stable's fine. It's not building a surplus, and that's kind of what we want to avoid. And then we're just wasting money on producing goods. And unless we're gonna sell that excess, then it's not worth it. And some, like most of these lower tier ones, you know, they're easy to make, so they're cheap to sell. We're not gonna get rich. We're not gonna become a billionaire off of selling work clothes. I'll tell you that much.
This one doesn't look too scary. You mind?
I do mind, actually. So apparently, they'll ask you even if you're not friends with them. But I still want to become friends with all of them, just for that sweet, sweet bonus money that they bring me every now and then. Plus, I could trade with them if I need to. The board has put in a veto. Well, sounds like you don't have unlimited authority over your board like I do. You should work on that. It's really great to be a dictator, okay? For you, not so much for the other people, but... Alright, our first trade ship's gonna be up and running. Oh, they changed how this looks too. It's a little more square. If that makes sense. If anybody's played this game before, they might know what I'm talking about. It just looks more square, I can really say. Anyhow, we're getting distracted.
Farm? We know things.
How do you not have enough grain fields? Don't mind me, I'm just doing whatever it takes to not impact that too much. Oh, I guess all this space is free too, right now? Which farmland is yours? What have I done here? Oh, I've done and messed it up bad. I messed it up bad. Whoopsie. Alright, we're just gonna have to move that lumber yard. I don't want it to get too convoluted here. Alright, so we have... How many of those do we have? Is that 3 or 4? I know I could probably just look and count, but yeah, 3, 4 and 4. Perfect. So that's all the production we need at the moment to supply our main island. So we're just going to go ahead and get that ship built as soon as possible and roll in with the ship, grab all that stuff for glorious profit on the mainland. Ship, still haven't found the Queen's representative, huh? Okay. I'll keep looking. I believe in you. Just gonna do a quick check on our allies. Well, sort of friends here. A decent amount of oil between all of them. I think the first one to go will be Miss Jorgensen here, because she's got that sweet, sweet oil. And you know me, being an American, we're always pining for that oil, right? Is that rude to say? I don't think that's rude to say. It's talking about, you know, my own country. That's fine, right? Alright. Past the hour mark. We didn't make it on the artisans, but we'll still make artisan tonight. So, we're not even going to make our first tier of progress here tonight, but we'll at least be building up a pretty strong economy to get working on stuff. Alright, so the first thing they want is bread. So as soon as we get supplies in for that. And how many sales do we have on the island at the moment? That's not a sale yard. Oh, so we need to produce more ships. So let's go ahead and build another one. I should have set this up beforehand. Again, I haven't played in a while. So this is all getting back into the swing of things. Create the route. Oopsie. I just created 2 trade routes. Cancel. New trade route. You're assigned. You're going from here to there. On that island, you're picking up the sweet, delicious hops and the grain. Dropping it off on the main island. Rinse and repeat until somebody blows you up. Did I say somebody blows you up? Until you retire at the ripe old age of 47. Okay. Let's see. What can we do while we're waiting for that to come in? More workers. That's what we do, because we have a boon of farmers. Actually, I want to keep expanding them up here on the southern part of the city, so that way I can build worker-specific stuff down here and it won't be too far from these guys. I know I already messed that up, but that's okay. We have unlocked soap as well. Perfect. So now would be a good time to build our first silo, because that'll give us... Oh, I did mess this up. I thought I left myself a space. Okay. That's alright. We'll just move one of these styes. Eat it over here. What am I missing? Wood. Right. Just used all the wood. Ship, have you still not found the last AI? Every map has that, I'm pretty sure. So I wonder where in the world this guy is. Sir Archibald Blake, I do believe his name is. I can remember his name, but I can't remember any of the AIs I'm playing against, and I've looked at their names like 4 times now. Still not ready to take bribes, huh? Or be told that you look particularly nice today. Alright. Okay. There he is. We found him. Perfect. So now we found all the people we could trade to. He's probably going to be our primary trading partner at the moment, just because sailing ships and stuff, this corridor is a dangerous game. And they're both about the same distance away from... He's a little further away, but it's a lot safer to do business with him. Alright, flagship. Just check out that spot real quick. And as for you, you're gonna go... Oh, I forgot about old Eli here. He'll be useful later on. He runs the prison. In case you couldn't tell, this is not a 5-star resort. This is in fact a prison. Shocking, I know. These are not tourists, they're prisoners. Oh, those aren't even prisoners, those are the guards. Are there even any visible prisoners, actually? There are. There they are. Yeah, so those aren't tourists, those are prisoners. I know, the striped jumpsuits, I wear those every time I go on holiday. But I guess... Wow, okay. I guess not everybody's in that style, though. But what he has is these lovely individuals, and he'll get better ones eventually. And what you do with those people is you can put them in like your trade unions or your town halls and stuff, and they provide boosts to a certain radius around them. And you can really stack those up and get, if you can find like some epic ones, legendary ones later on, you can really get like stacks of modifiers. And I'm not gonna say break the game, but you could definitely get some like overflow production and like really ramp up stuff for maximum profit, which is all we're about. So that's stuff I'll have to look into and kind of research off stream a little bit. It's like optimizing like which characters provides the best optimization for certain things, and then keep an eye out for those guys. Anyway, this island's still not making me a profit. I could build more people, but then you get in that like spiral of like needing more resources for the people.
There's fun to be found in everything, even quests.
Sure.
Are too kind.
Because your quest is really easy. Rather than clicking randomly everywhere, these ones are marked. You just have to kind of look a little bit and then click randomly. I guess they're highlighted as well, so we don't need to be crazy about it. This is really gonna show off how bad my eyesight is, though. It's actually not, but sometimes I'm just like not super observant. Got that one quick though. Quick strats, getting those bears and wolves in a quick strat sort of way. So there's still one right here, and I'm sure somebody sees it. There's like screaming at their monitor. There we are.
The happiest possible thing.
Is she ready to give me an alliance for freezies? Hi, that still means I have to pay. So not yet. There's no sense rushing it. Oopsie. Just all tabbed out of the game there. How are you looking, princess? Are you ready for flattery? No. How are you? Are you ready for flattery? No. All right, I'll remember this. Marigold. Head there. See if you can't find another island. And we're just gonna sell our first schooner there. And since we have the resources, let's build another. Eventually, we will build up a gun industry to sell some ships, because we're gonna need those anyway to kind of fend off the pirates a little bit more, keep their numbers in check. So we want to we do want to have ships with guns besides just our flagship. But we're not gonna go down that road of building up too many of these like base level guns, because eventually when we get to engineers we're gonna have steam ships and we're gonna have better weaponry then anyway, and that's when we'll actually build up a weapons trade. Because those steam ships sell for a lot more. I think we would get to like, if I remember correctly, we would knock off this 250,000 with like one of those ships. That could be a really profitable way to just keep the resources flowing in. I mean, I would hope so. All right. So do we have grain on the mainland yet? Oh yeah, we are stocked, we are flush, we are ready to roll. So let's put that to work immediately.
The cherry atop our view.
Yes.
Benta is a wonderful friend.
I know.
I saw her first.
So there we go, 2. And everybody's happy, even though Willie didn't sound like he's happy, he's secretly happy for us. So that'll be good. She'll be giving me a lot more money now. I know at the Alliance, they always ask you to build an island. And I don't think, unless you just like neglect them for a long time, they won't break the Alliance to go to war with you, at least not these AI. So we can just kind of focus on the other 2 for now. We don't need to worry about doing quests for her unless it's like a good amount of gold or something, or it's like one of those deny and you take a huge damage to your reputation thing, and we're already on like shaky grounds. But we're not at the moment, so we can just ignore her. Because that's how friendship works. As soon as you say, hey, we're friends, you're like, cool. Let's not speak for a few weeks until I need something from you. That's how friendship works. At least it does when you're trying to speedrun being a billionaire. Alright, so we've got about another half hour before I want to call it for tonight. So let's really hunker down here and get into at least artisans. So next thing we need is soap. Written for that, we need our pigs, which did we build that silo? We haven't. Let's get that up and running because that gives us more. And then we need the ironworks. So we need the iron mine. And where are those? There's the one there. Perfect. I didn't plan that. That just happened to work out. And then we'll build our coal mine here. I guess it's a charcoal kiln. We don't have coal mines, access to coal mines yet. That technology is beyond our grasp. And that's a 1-for-1. I'm producing that. And then that produces one of those. Okay. We need a lot more workers, which means it's time for another great expansion. Time to use up all that. You're welcome. What was it you were thinking before? Oh, right. The silo. Yeah, I remember. I remember your quest. I'm the benevolent overlord. I always remember what my people bring to me. Totally don't get sidetracked talking about the AI or, you know, stuff like that. So you're already overloaded. Don't have enough wood to build another one yet, though, so we're just kind of have to let that slide. You'll have it soon. Don't worry. You'll have it soon. Actually, you know what I want to do for the moment? Just to get things off the ground running faster. We're going to buy a little bit of steel from him just so we have the materials we need to upgrade our workers a little bit faster now that we found him. And this is why he's going to be our trading partner for a little while, because he's got...
Wish to spread harmony, then
Yeah!
bamboo together.
Plum and bamboo together. Whatever you say, yes!
Princess Ching regales the most.
Yeah.
You're flourishing.
I am flourishing, you're right. But yeah, he provides a lot of the basic materials as well as... We're done, Archibald. Interesting. That might be new on the map as well. That whole click back into the map for somebody talking to you thing. You're there, I've just never noticed it before. Alright, so how are we doing? We're down to the stupid... Right. Okay. See, they burn through this stuff so quick.
Nice day for it.
So we're gonna build another one. And this is a hot mess, I know. But at least we're keeping the industries grouped together, so that way I can keep an eye on all this. And I should probably leave room for silos. But the silos here require more wheat. And I guess I could just produce more wheat. So why don't we get working on that for our continued expansion? Because this island's already losing me money anyway, so might as well just keep building that deficit. How's our little ship doing? Chugging back and forth. We don't have an overflow on any of those, right? Nope. Things are as expected at the moment. We do need a... Let's just queue up a couple ships. I don't have enough wood to queue up 2 ships. Okay, never mind. That wood is more utilized, or better utilized in upgrading my workforce right now. Which I can't do because I let them run out of cloth. Right. We're embarrassed to go outside if we don't have clothes. Well, just wear your old ratty ones. Like, these people, man, just so needy all the time. Don't they realize I'm trying to become a billionaire here? I will go ahead and upgrade this one now. Just since we do have the brick facilities up and running, and that'll give us an extra slot. So it's like 50% better. Because that's how math works. And then we have some steel going. I have a schooner or a schooner that needs to be sold. He's heading there. That one's trading. Perfect. Moving on. Let's just keep focused on getting to artisans tonight, and then we'll see how much time we have left after that. Look at that. We're already almost back to where we started an hour and 20 minutes ago. That's all right. This will be our first major dip, and then we might see some smaller dips later on as we get to the next tier of citizens and we have to make major investments. But it'll be easier and easier and faster to recover from those each time. Profitability is going down on this island? No. Yes. What else do you people need? Fish. We need more fish before we run out. Stupid resource management. Can't I pay somebody to do this, but then also not pay them because I'm stingy? We should build schnapps at some point as well. And we need another slaughterhouse. So we're going to have to eat into our profits a little bit here. It is what it is. Let's just slap it in here next to the other one. And we're not going to build a silo on that one for now, because it's just a 1-for-1 on both of these. All right, so we need more schnapps as well. So let's go ahead and just build that now while we're thinking about it. I should probably... Does that island... Does not support schnapps. Okay, well, I guess they're just going to be without booze except for at the local pub. No at-home drinking for you, Timmy. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Potatoes just don't grow here. You can grow red peppers, though. Figure that out. Alright. So that's running. That ship is where we need it to be. So let's just go ahead and make a trade. Buy up a... It'll be worth it. Shh. Archibald, don't tell me about your flexibility, dude. It's not something anybody wants to think about. Perfect. We're to the final tier of unlocks. So let's go ahead and get our school Location prepped. It's not gonna reach all the way down there until we build brick roads, but that's okay. That'll happen soon. In fact, I should probably start expanding infrastructure out now, so that way I can avoid building extra buildings that take up space and just focus on nothing but households. How do they get to 20? Is it from the happiness? The lifestyle needs? It is. Okay. I see. So you can just click and unlock any of these at any point, if you have the unlock requirements. Well, shucks. If that gives me more farmers and more coins, that might be worth building up just for that. Let me look at the cost here. So 50. So I'd have to have at least 50 households for that to break even. Probably have that many. What do you have for lifestyle needs? Do you also have that? No. Hot sauce and rum. Penny farthings. Well, la-di-da, sir. Alright, perfect. And they have beer, and we have the beer materials. We don't have the steel yet. It's coming. You're ready to be sold. That's something else I forgot to mention too when I was setting this out. So you have this influence, and you can spend it on a variety of things, whether that's using it for different or expanding your empire onto other islands, or manipulating the news, or having a fleet. And you get your influence just by having population levels. Oopsie. So you can see here, like, we need another 42 people for our next influence level, and each time you level up, you get another 20 influence. Oh, my oopsie, sorry. My laptop's running low here. I might have to pull up stream chat on the main monitor and then just minimize that so I can keep watching for lovely messages from you people. There we go. Okay. So we have that back up. Let's just go ahead and close that down for now, and we'll just have everything here on screen. So that's moving. That's here. Perfect. Slap you in. Get the brewery running ASAP. So it takes one of these provides 2 of those. Perfect. And I built a second warehouse somewhere recently. I should actually build it up here because I think this is going to be a better use of the space. So let's just build a road out. Build another warehouse. This will be Brewpub Central. Alright, now we need just a few more able-bodied workers to... That's 2 I need to build down here. There we go, more workers. We almost stepped into negative profitability there for a moment. You never want to see that. So bread looks okay. Sausage looks okay. They don't have soap yet. So let's go ahead and get that going now. So one of these provides for 2 of those, right? No, it's the other way. Did I do that wrong then?
Stand to attention for the
No, it's the other way, that way. So 2 of these takes to provide for 1 of those. Yikes. Cities become less attractive. That's a problem for future me. Alright. And that population will solve itself here soon now that they have soap and the bread's rolling in. I guess the bread is already maxed though, so they're not going to get any more benefit from that. Alright. And then it's just a matter of building up the resources necessary here, which, hey, we already have the steel. That's weird. How did that happen? We're actually really close. We just need a little bit more brick. Slap that up. And that'll be a massive boon to our profitability. And we'll get it done in less than 2 hours. I don't know if that's good or not. But hey, we're on the 3rd population tier in our first stream, so... Gosh, it's still not enough clothes. How? I just built you more. Alright, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and add... silos to a couple of these, so I don't have to keep expanding and taking up a bunch of space. And I say that realizing that I put some of them so close to things that they can't actually have silos. More clothes. Clothes for the clothes people. Another fire. Is it here? Perfect. Because, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. That's the only firehouse on the island. Don't have any coverage anywhere else. Hope that's not an issue. Okay. Just a little bit more wood, guys, and then you can have all your dreams. You can learn to read and write, and I don't know. Better yourselves, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and build more wheat. Because that will be in high supply, and I don't want us to run out. Or that'll be in high demand, I don't want us to run out. There we go. So that's like 6. That should be good enough for now. That should supply all of our stuff. Because the silos use it very rarely. It's like, what, every minute uses one? Every 5 minutes uses one. So you barely have to provide for them. One farm would be enough to provide for 5 silos, so. So close. And we're losing workers again. And them. Why? What are we out of? What do you whiny whiners need? It's the clothes. It's always the clothes. Man.
I could simply go to press.
You will not simply go to press, and I'll tell you why.
My publishing house.
Wait, sorry.
I mean, I am so grateful
There we
to
go.
work in your publishing house.
So yeah, what we're going to want to do eventually is reach the max on that. We're going to want austerity measures, because that makes them use less resources, which means more profitability, obviously, because that's less buildings. And then we might do like hypnosis or something in the 3rd one just to keep them happy after, you know, the massive propaganda that's been thrown at them. There we go. Look at that profitability. We are jumping. See, they love beer. They just love the beer. All that sweet, sweet, delicious profit. Now we're cruising. Cooking with gas, as the kids might say.
It's our human right.
Well, the farmers don't seem to think so. They were fine without having schools. Why are you so picky? Maybe you should reflect on that, dude. Anyway. So it looks like, yeah, about hour and 35 will be to artisans. Again, I have no idea if that's good or not. I was like, get some stupid clothes on their backs. Finally up to a surplus of workers, which is good. That's just harbor master buildings. We're doing okay on fish. We're doing okay on schnapps. Probably should be doing better on our sausage. Let's go ahead and build another ship. And see if our friends, they need a little talking to after our
Does not turn my head.
after our
You
restricting of the press. So just want to make sure they stay friendly with us.
Please.
Oh, come on, Wibbly.
More than that.
Wibbly, Wibbly, Wibbly. I might have to do a stupid quest for you. Looks like it. Fine. Got work for me?
Your apprenticeship?
Alright, Wibbly. I'll remember that. I won't remember that. He doesn't need to know that, though. So yeah, this will be perfect timing. We'll be right around the 2-hour mark where I usually have to call it at nights at the moment. Right as we're getting our first artisans.
No less than we deserve.
It's like I planned it, but I really didn't. And you know what? Since we have a massive surplus of wheat, right? We have a lot of wheat. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just build one more flour mill. And then once we get some flour stockpiled,
We put our love into
we'll turn on them getting their luxuries for that. Who's gonna be the first one to... I realized too, when I was setting the rules earlier, I never stipulated the manipulation of the time up here. There it is. I told you we'd be coming back to that. And I think for the purposes of the speedrun, we're going to run it regular. We're going to run at normal speed the entire time. Because obviously you're going to make more money if you hit just like fastest the entire time. Just like, you know, let it run autopilot or just like, you know, doing all that stuff. So yeah, for the purposes of this run, since I am the category manager here in this run that I've made, we're going to leave it to just normal. It has to be on normal. Or regular, whatever. So if I ever accidentally do that, it's gonna invalidate the run, which would suck because I do obviously do that in normal gameplay. Why are you here, ship? Shouldn't you be doing something else? Go there. I don't know. Keep exploring for now. We'll have use for you soon. We took a dip to our profitability. What happened? Not enough beer, maybe? No, you have enough beer. Alright, let's get our first artisans.
New milestone.
Look at that. The age of fine craftsmanship. And now I actually have to buckle down and build a steel plant. Because it's not going to be...
Ever desired was a place to live and work.
It's not going to be profitable to continue to buy steel from Reginald. And our first expedition. Okay, so we're not going to tackle that tonight. Actually, you know what? Maybe we will. Come on back. Come on back. Do we have enough resources to send you with anything at the moment? Not yet. We need more beer. How do we need more beer? You have 2 breweries. You lushes. Actually, before I jump the gun, let's look. Are we actually holding steady? Production. Right, that's what I want. It is climbing. And let's look at storage over time. Yeah, so it's climbing very slowly because we just started. Okay. So we just need to calm down. There we go. Our profitability's back. Money's looking good. You are ready to go off to... I should probably just... While I'm thinking about it here, let's just set your waypoint as Sir Reginald's House of Lost Ships. Alright, the artisans are a lot more picky. They, you know, want more things than just beer and blur, blur, blur. So, the very first thing they're going to want is...
Thank your loving kindness.
canned goods, right? They love those cans.
I dream of better.
All up in their face. In order to produce that... Oops. Keep bringing up the taskbar. Might have to change how that works later on. Because we need windows for that, right? Yeah. So they're gonna want all this stuff or they're gonna need all this stuff first before we could even start building canned goods for them. But the good news is they provide so much more profit than even a maxed out worker. Good. Steel mill's up and running. I know that took a dip to our profitability there, but I think I will take one last infusion of steel from Old Reginald here just to get enough to produce some more artisans real quick. Because we're not going to have time to send him on expedition tonight. We're just going to have to... Yeah, because I would like to send him with like full stacks of materials, and we're not quite there on accumulation of anything yet. And we should probably outfit him with like some gear from Reginald, which is... Well, actually, you know what? For this first expedition, you probably don't even need it. He could probably just skate by with just rations. So that's probably what we'll do, because that's the billionaire way to do things. Just go ahead and build these guys out real quick. We have almost a deficit of workers as well, so we need to upgrade some of these guys into the worker class. There we go. Profits are up. What do you think? Nope. You have a quest?
Come later. I'll see what
So useless, man. So useless. Nobody wants my stuff. And don't pay attention to these bars. They don't really matter all that much. I mean, they do, but they don't. You know? Alright, so we got a few minutes left here. What do we want to do with the last few minutes we have before we have to call it a night on our speedrun? Should probably get some more workers. So let's go ahead and just upgrade another city block here or so. And then we're going to need more farmers. So let's get more housing set up and ready. And my... Perfect. The pub can still reach you, and the town center can still reach you. How about you lovely chumps down here? No? Okay, so we need to invest in more brick roads. Because we're missing out on profit. I didn't even realize it. It's shameful. It's not the billionaire way to go. Alright, so that's about as far as we can go for now. Does that reach you now? I mean, I guess I was getting max coins from you. Maybe I didn't need to do that. Should have just left you. Because you're already giving me everything I wanted. Alright. Now we got a decent amount of workers, so we can elevate some of them to the next class as soon as we get some steel rolling in. Which, speaking of, let's sell you.
Tell me I've missed it.
And then you are almost ready for a steel pickup. Look at that. We're only 15,000 off of where we started, and our money's rolling in now. Look at those lovely, lovely dollars accumulating in the bank account. No thanks to you, Aftbrink. Although you are providing a valuable service, I guess. You know. There's a lot of waiting here at this warehouse, and that's a waste of time. That's not spent making money for old billionaire me. So let's throw another one down. It does cost a little bit of money, but it's better than having just everybody sitting there waiting. What is going on here? Just a herd of buffalo run across the plains in a straight line, as you do. Alright, so I think the goal for the next time we do this, and I think for now what I'm going to do is probably just do this like once a week, see if there's a lot of interest in people watching this. If not, you know, this will just be straight YouTube content, which is okay. And so I want to produce at least one of these a week, so then, you know, I can put in some Why am I doing it this way? I can put in some editing into like more condensed videos because a billionaire speedrun is going to take like dozens of hours of footage, I'm sure. I would like to condense that down to something a little bit more manageable for people to keep up with in like an actual series. And if I'm shooting it at least once a week here with you lovely people on Twitch, then I can turn around and get it edited and throw up one a week as well on the YouTube channel and stuff. Anyway, that's just plans for the future. Tomorrow night I'll probably be back to Fortnite. Thursday as well. And then I haven't thought as far ahead as what I want to do on Friday yet, so I will let you know. Stay tuned for what's coming on Friday. It'll still be same time every night for the foreseeable future, every night as much as I can, and we'll just go from there. Eventually I'll have some more free time to stream a little bit longer or different hours, but for the time being, what is that? Interesting. Aluminum. That's a whole new resource, chat. There's gonna be some stuff we're gonna have to learn about, and we're gonna learn about it together. Unless you know the stuff that I don't, in which case, welcome. If you have any tips or tricks, by all means, always throw it out in the chat. I'm always open to suggestions. Alright, so let's just get this back real quick. We'll build up a little bit more of our artisan base. And hey, look at that.
Let's extend the old telescope.
And then I think tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next week when we do another episode in this series, we will do our expedition into the New World, build up some islands there, and really push through the artisan class as fast as possible. Right, I meant to turn on... Does that turn on for everybody? I really hope I don't have to like micromanage you guys. Perfect. And that should give us a little bit more profitability. And yeah, we have plenty of flour for them. I have no idea how often they consume it. Alright, so I think... Why did that not pause? Right, I hit the wrong button. Learning pains with the old speedrun thing here. That's what we're calling for night. I guess I just could have hit save and exit game, huh? No matter. We will see you here again for another run of old, what's his bucket? Herman Muzzledog. What a great name. That random generator, man. I love it. So we'll see you again here for part 2 of Herman Muzzledog's speedrun to 1 billion at some point next week. Other than that, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate y'all coming in and seeing what I'm doing. Hope you have a good day, good night, whatever it is when you see this. And that will do it for now. I'll see you all tomorrow.